Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rotary's Magazine. My name is Kenny McKee, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 things you need to know before buying a Mazda RX-7. Now before we get started in this video, I just want to give you guys a quick news update about the channel. The shop tutorial and maintenance videos are coming soon. We're in the process of shooting them and things like that, but Matt and Jared are currently getting their cars ready to go. We're getting ready for the upcoming season. Poverty is about to see some huge upgrades here soon, as well as my FC Cosmo, and then I have a right-hand drive FD on the way. But everyone's cars are kind of coming together before we get some shop stuff together, so we're going to kind of do more of this sort of concept for a little while. Just lists, answering general questions that I can answer just in front of a camera in my own room while we get ready to shoot those things. So the shop videos are coming. Don't fret, I know that's what you guys want to see. We have tons of great tutorials on the way. That definitely pertain to our cars, and a lot of, for everything from budget to wild, we have everything coming, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so let's just jump right into the list. The first thing that you need to know about buying a Mazda RX-7 is that the Rotary engine is not a piston engine. With the Rotary engine comes its own different set of maintenance and quirks and things you need to know about the car. That doesn't make it any less reliable, doesn't make it any more expensive, it just makes it different. And people don't understand that they're literally just fundamentally different in the way that you take care of them when you drive them. So understand that the Rotary engine is literally not a piston engine. You just need to take care and find out the things you need to do for your car. So if you need resources for those, I'll leave those in the description down below for the basic things that most newbies need to know about the car. But just know that it's different. It's not, you can't just hop in the car and drive it and do whatever you want like a piston engine. You need to know what you're doing before you get one. And my second tip is, if you're buying a car that isn't top dollar, you need to go ahead and already budget a rebuild into the price of the car. That's not to say that the car is going to break down. That's not going to say it's easy to rebuild immediately. That's just to say that you can't always trust what you see on the internet. I've seen it countless times that someone buys an RX-7 and then has to rebuild immediately, or goes and blames the owner. Those things happen. That's what happens. Just know that if the car is cheap, there's a reason it's going for cheap sometimes, and you can't always trust every owner that says they're going to do things that they don't. That's just the way that selling on the internet works. So when you buy an RX-7, expect to rebuild the car. I've gone through it personally myself, where I bought an FD and the FD needed a rebuild within a month, and it was a whole ordeal. So just understand that you might need to rebuild the car. Like I said, that doesn't mean that every car was going to need to be rebuilt immediately or soon. It's just a good idea to have that for peace of mind. Or if you don't have the money, you need to understand that you could potentially have the car down for months while you wait to accumulate the money for a rebuild. Just know that the Rotary game is a patient one. You need to understand that to your build right, it does, like with anything, it takes time to do. So just understand that you need to be ready for anything that could possibly happen with the car. Now my third tip for buying a Mazda RX-7 is that, unlike what you read on the internet or what people say with no experience, Rotaries are neither that difficult to maintain nor are they really that expensive. They're honestly not. They're actually really simple and they're really cheap. The reason that people say that is literally because they're different. Like I said in the first tip, they're fundamentally different, and people don't want to go all the way to learn something that they're not comfortable with. So as long as you are adventurous, you thirst for knowledge, understand that the Rotary is going to take a little bit more thinking power. You're going to have to learn something that's not fundamentally the same as everyone. It's not something you can go to a parts store and ask someone, hey, how do I do this? You're gonna need the research by yourself. So the Rotary is a car that you need to take initiative in yourself to find what you're gonna be doing with it. If you don't, this is not the car for you. If you're not a self-learner, this is not the car for you. If you don't understand, if you don't want to take the time to learn something, this is not the car for you. Just understand that it requires your own self-drive to understand and learn about these cars. Unless you have a whole bunch of money to throw at people, I mean, you can do that too, but for most people like me, that's like the DIY guy, you can't just afford to throw money at shops. You need to be able to learn things on your own on the fly. So understand that the Rotary is a car that requires you to learn on your own. My fourth tip is that swapping a Rotary engine is not cheap. And when I say that, I don't mean the LS swaps. I don't really care about LS people like that. It's not a big deal. But one common thread that you'll see in any RX-7 group revolving around the Rotary is, I'm gonna put a 3-rotor in my car, or I'm gonna put a 4-rotor in my car, because I saw it on the internet and it's a great thing. Realistically, and I hate to be completely frank here, you're probably not going to do that. It's not going to happen. Just because for one, it's the cost effectiveness of swapping the car isn't really that great. You're not going to gain a ton of power. It's for the diehard enthusiasts that want to have that elite top of the top Rotary thing. Just to put it in perspective for some of you, because a lot of you are your FC owners, or your new FD owners. If you're an FC owner, an FC average price for Turbo 2 is 4 to 5 grand, and NA will be 2 to 3. If you buy one of those, to put a 20B in the car requires a $10,000 long block, $500, or not $500, like $200 mounts, an ECU, custom turbo manifold, custom downpipe, 6 injectors, custom ignition setup. Everything is custom for a 20B drop in the car. Now with an FC, it's a lot cheaper because the 20B goes in just with straight mounts. But for an FD owner, which will typically have more money than an FC owner, but the FD requires new subframe, which is expensive, needs new ECU, new ignition, everything has to be custom for an FD as well. So understand that if you want to put a 20B in an FC, you're going to spend another $15,000. If you want to put a 20B in an FD, you're looking at spending $20,000 to $30,000, and that's just to do it cheap. That's not even upgrading transmission, the diff, or anything. That's using the stock transmission and everything. Just to put it in there is that much money. Just to get the engine in the car is that much money. So if you're going to, if you plan on swapping the car, understand that's how much you're going to be spending. It's not so. Don't make the mistake that a lot of people make and say, I'm going to swap my car within the future, because you're realistically probably not, unless you have a lot of cash flow, which some people do. I understand, but the average person will not do that. So don't make the mistake. Don't say you're going to swap the car. And then if anyone ever asks you, hey, is your car 2-rotor or 3-rotor, you look at them like a dumbass and realize that costs a lot of money to do, but no one really understands that. And then my last tip that you need to know before buying an RX-7, even though I said they're not that expensive to maintain, and I've said that they're not difficult to maintain, you need to understand that these cars do have the potential to $1,000 use of death. And what I mean by that is, every part you go to do the upgrade of the car is going to cost roughly about $1,000 or more. So if you're looking at upgrading turbo, it's going to be a minimum of probably about $1,000. If you want a single turbo and FD, it's going to be a minimum way more than $1,000, but it's at least minimum $1,000. And the thing is that they're addicting. It's addicting the upgrade RX-7. So understand that they're going to become money pits. It's the reason why FCs and FCs have the nickname financial crisis and financial disaster. Understand that these cars are addicting. You find out how easy it is to modify them and make power, and all you want to do is keep making power and keep making power and keep making power. So you're going to spend a lot of money. That's the $1,000 of death isn't about maintenance, because you're not gonna. It's gonna, like, the maintenance is the normal thing of a performance car. Just understand when you go to modify it, you're gonna spend a lot of $1,000. It's gonna be a lot of $1,000 increments, just over and over and over again. Just understand that the cars are addicting, but they're entirely rewarding. For every dollar that you put in the car, you earn 10 times back in just satisfaction and gratitude for the car. So this is why I personally love RX-7s. RX-7s to me are amazing. I love every single thing about them. But if you go into it with a realistic expectation of what you want, and you move from there, you'll grow to love them even more. So with that, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. You should take a look at this video right here, or this one, because I hear they're pretty good. Yeah, so choose one of these. Also, another fact you need to know about a Mazda RX-7, the Turbo 2 hood is not centered on the hood. So now you can unsee that. Have a good one.